It is Friday, and that means there are a bunch of new shows and movies to add to your queue for the weekend. For more on that, let's bring in Mickey O'Connor. He's the editor-in-chief of TV Guide. He's got a whole list of things for you to watch this weekend, but it is Friday the 13th.
Yep.
So we're going to thrill you a little bit with the first pick, right? Mindhunter, about two agents who work
FBI
with serial
agents, yeah.
killers.
Mhm,
All
yeah.
right, let's watch the trailer, and then we'll talk.
Psychopaths are convinced that there's nothing wrong with them, so these men are virtually impossible to study. Yet you have found a way in near-perfect laboratory conditions.
Hello, ladies.
That's what makes this so exciting and potentially so far-reaching.
Okay, this is a heck of a tease.
Yeah. So I've been calling this show like Silence of the Lambs adjacent, because it's about studying imprisoned serial killers to see if they can develop behavioral profiles, and it's something that actually happened in the FBI in the 60s and 70s, and so that's what this is based on. It comes to us from David Fincher, who of course did all kinds of great movies about serial killers, Zodiac, Gone Girl, and also he was one of the original executive producers on House of Cards.
Great show.
He's got a great relationship with Netflix. Charlize Theron is one of the other executive producers. She won an Oscar for playing a serial killer. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of people who know
Are the serial killers sort of like ripped from the headlines? Like, are there people that we would know?
I think that they're evocative. Like, I think that you'll recognize details and everything, but they're not literal.
Okay. Okay, so the next one is based on a podcast that I've been listening to for a long time listener, first time caller. Now, I've never called into lore, but lore is all about sort of the scary stories that we tell over and over again, the boogeyman in the closet, and now there's a show.
There's a show.
Let's watch a little bit.
Okay.
There exists a life after this one, and that we can return.
Robert is real, and he doesn't like it when you scold me.
So I love the podcast because not only do they sort of tell these scary tales, at least with the podcast, but they also kind of fold it into a societal explanation. Like, why on earth would we have created these myths for?
We're journalists, so we want to get at the truth of like how these things like became legends, became horror films, became things that scare us. You want to know what the kernel of truth is. And that's what this is about. And it's like executive produced by a woman named Gail Ann Hurd, who is famous for her involvement with the Terminator movies, with the Alien movies, and also with The Walking Dead. So again, we've got some experienced people, doing the, pursuing this subject matter. So yeah, I think it's going to be a really interesting show. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so we're going to lighten things up a bit, right? Because we don't want to just I know it's Friday the 13th, but then we move on to the 14th, and we want to laugh. It's Saturday. Sarah Silverman has a new show. Yep. Where's this airing? Streaming? It started yesterday on Hulu. Okay. And it's called I Love You, America, and it's pretty great. It's like, well, look at the trailer. It's you'll see it's kind of nutty.
Love you, California, New York City too. I love whatever this state is. I said California, right? I love you, Indians. I mean Native Americans. Oh, First Americans. I can't keep up. I said I can keep up. I'm great.
So, being a little quirky.
Yeah, so she's really spoofing her, her sort of reputation as being someone who doesn't care about the real America. Right. And I think that the reason why she, created this show, she has said very, very directly that she wants to try to unite the country. That she thinks that there's a lot of things that, we all have in common. And so there's not a lot that you can tell about the show from that trailer because it's a musical number. But
is this classic Sarah Silverman? I think she's sort of always a little irreverent, but also making a commentary on sort of modern life. Yeah. So the actual show is going to have a monologue at the beginning, and then there are going to be sort of field pieces that are more like The Daily Show, where she goes out and she meets the people of the real America. In the first episode, she goes to have dinner with a family who has never met a Jewish person before. Oh, how interesting.
So I think that it's going to be kind of like that. A lot of sort of interactions, introducing people to situations they're not familiar with. Right. And finding out what we all have in common. All right, so those were all new shows, but there's another show coming back, the new season of Mr. Robot. Yes, it's the third season, and I would just say this. I've seen a few of the first episodes. I won't spoil anything, but I will say if you were disillusioned by season 2, then I would encourage you to still come back and watch season 3. I think it's a return to a lot of what I really loved about the show in season 1. You know, season 2 was about the hack and the after effects of the hack. Season 3 is kind of discovering that maybe the hack was not such a good idea, and I think that in that respect, it's kind of a new show. I think that, you know, Elliot and Mr. Robot have different intentions when it comes to how to rectify that, and I think that, you know, we're going to learn a lot more about the imaginary characters that we didn't know.
Are they imaginary?
Right, exactly,
are they not?
Exactly.
Right.
And then also there's a bunch of real characters on the show who you're going to learn a lot more about their ulterior motives, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you fell out of love with Mr. Robot during the last season, you will be falling back in love again.
Yeah,
right?
so that premiered on Wednesday. It's on Wednesday nights on USA.
All right, Mickey O'Connor, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.